Hello, my name is Maria Bezubova and you're at my channel Fertilizers Jazz. Here we talk about events, trends, technologies in the world of fertilizers and agriculture. Please subscribe to the channel, put like to this video, and let's jazz! As you know, every quarter I invite prominent market analysts to share with you their quarterly forecasts for fertilizers market segments. Today, I'm very glad to add one more important segment analysis that we haven't discussed previously, and it is nitrates market. And to do that, I'm thrilled to host a cool guest, Manuja Pandey, Fertilizers Market Editor at ICIS. I'm happy to welcome you, Manuja, and thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you, Maria. It's an absolute pleasure, and thank you so much for having me.
Manuja, we meet today right at the end of 2024. So my first question to you, there is no surprise. What is your key takeout from this 2024 year regarding events or maybe news that happened in nitrates market that you think were important for the market and you think might lead the market in 2025, and especially in the first quarter, because today we will focus on Q1 of 25.
Sure, Maria, it's been a very interesting year for 2024 for the nitrates fertilizer market. 2024 has unfortunately been a year of seasonal delays because of inclement weather, incessant rains, flooding in several parts of Europe. We have seen the planting season has been delayed. We saw that happening in the first half of 2024, and unfortunately, this followed in the second half of 2024. As a result of this, the yields have been very poor for farmers, and as we all know, that grain prices have been low. So this has actually, this has not augured well for farmers because their affordability has been very badly impacted. In addition to this, we've seen, because of the ongoing geopolitical tensions and fresh tensions arising in the Middle East, we've seen, there have been concerns about gas supplies, and due to which gas prices have gone up. And so, so the cost of production for producers has also gone up, which has translated to price increases for farmers and again, that it's like a catch-22 situation for producers, because this has impacted demand. So whether or not to increase prices, and if they do not increase prices, they have to absorb the hit on their margins. So overall, it has been a slow year for 2024. But however, in December, we did see in the last couple of weeks, we've seen the weather has improved, like it has been drier, and the winter season has been delayed by about 3 weeks. And so we did see some action, some interest in nitrates. We saw demand picking up in several parts of Europe, including the UK. And this, of course, is short-lived because then all activity stopped December 15 onwards. And this is notwithstanding some price increases that we saw producers take, but this was expected because of the gas price increases. And I think even the buyers have reconciled to the fact that prices will have to be increased. Going into the first quarter of 2025, we do expect that demand is going to continue. I think we will hit the ground running when it comes to 2025. As soon as the markets open up again, post the holiday season, we will see demand pick up for nitrates, both in the UK and in the rest of Europe. Normally, traditionally, we see that the market picks up. The buying activity picks up sometime in mid of February. However, this time we are anticipating that right from January onwards, we are going to see some buying take place. And for fertilizers like urea, we could see, applications begin as early as end of January because farmers still need to catch up on the 3 weeks delay.
Okay, thank you very much. You already touched a bit on that. Indeed, we see that the season is lagging behind, if we talk about Europe specifically. And do you think this is related mostly to the weather conditions that you already mentioned? Or another thought which I also had is the connection between urea and nitrates. So we see how volatile is urea market now with all these tenders, one after another, and prices jumping from lows to almost historical highs. How do you think fresh Indian tender influenced the situation, specifically with the slow pace of demand right now? And what will be the effect of it into the Q1? Because actually it will be realized before February 10, the shipment for the tender, I mean.
So nitrates has always been very closely related to urea. The buying patterns have been very closely related because urea has traditionally been the cheaper fertilizer, nitrogen fertilizer, and the fertilizer of choice for farmers because it is more affordable. Somewhere in 2024, we did see the urea prices surge. And when they were at the highest, we did see there was some migration of buying. There was like we did see buyers shifting to nitrates, which had where the prices had not been increased till until that point. But whenever there is a price increase in urea, whenever urea is at its highest, it's also an opportunity for producers, nitrate producers, to raise nitrate prices. Uh, it's it's very difficult for nitrate produce because nitrates is anyways a premium priced product, and so producers are always challenged as to when to raise prices because this definitely impacts demand. So when urea prices were at their peak, it was also an opportunity for the producers to raise nitrate prices. And we saw soon that buyers were again switching back to urea. Have seen that there has been more stickiness towards ammonium sulfate, which is another nitrogen fertilizer, because ammonium sulfate continues to be priced cheaper when it comes to per unit cost of nitrogen compared to urea or even nitrates, especially in markets like Brazil.
Exactly, yes. As for now, we see that quite a lot of Chinese sulfate is already heading to Europe. But do you expect there will be more coming, or nitrates will start and steadily, stop the arrival of additional sulfate?
I think the season for sulfate is over now in Europe, and it's going to take time for the market to revive, demand to revive again. I think now is the season for nitrates in Europe.
Okay,
And
okay.
that's primarily because the nitrate season, the winter season, was delayed by 3 weeks, as I said. Yeah.
Okay, clear. Thank you very much. And which other markets apart from Europe, which is of course the key for nitrates, will be active in terms of demand in Q1?
For nitrates, it's primarily Europe that we talk about because it's not widely used in other markets. We do, Brazil does use a lot of ammonium nitrate, but I don't see demand coming back there before March.
I see. So we really need to focus on the situation in Europe only for that.
Europe and the UK.
And the UK, yes, of course. And the UK.
And Ireland, yes, we expect calcium ammonium nitrate demand to pick up again in February, end of January, February in Ireland as well.
Okay, thank you. Let's move to the situation with the supply. So clearly the key challenge for supply in Q1, and you already touched on that, is high natural gas cost for European producers. Right now, the futures of natural gas are somewhere around $12 per MMBTU and decreasing, mostly due to mild weather that is forecasted in upcoming weeks. But winter with the lower temperatures is inevitable. It will always come suddenly as usual. And increasing prices of feedstock for fertilizers is inevitable as well. Ammonia prices are also at the higher level, as we know. Last week it was around $620 CFR Europe. So how do you evaluate supply situation for the nitrates in Q1? And do you foresee that production cost of European fertilizers producers will be economically viable?
As far as production costs are concerned, Maria, I do expect there to be pressures because, like you mentioned, gas prices, even though we have seen in this week TTF has come down a little bit, but we anticipate that heating costs are going to drive gas prices up. Also, availability of gas is always going to be a matter of concern because of the ongoing political tensions that we see in Middle East and in the Russia-Ukraine belt. So our anticipation is is that gas will remain firm, notwithstanding those small dips. This is ammonia prices are also up, and so we have seen a lot of producers now depending more on imported ammonia. Sorry, for instance, Yara has shut down its Ferrara plant because of the cost, and they have decided to import. Ammonia from Ravenna in the UK. We've seen CF Industries, who has moved entirely favoring imported ammonia instead of producing their own because it is more economically viable. So yes, going forward, we do expect that producers are going to continue seeing pressure on their margins. They are going to rely more on imported ammonia. For their production of nitrate and other nitrogen fertilizers. As far as supply is concerned, we have seen a lot of nitrate producers reducing their supplies. Although not all of them have confirmed, Yara has confirmed their production outages to us, but we've also heard of companies like Fertiberia and Lat Nitrogen, even Rosier in Belgium and the Netherlands. They are said to have reduced supplies, or let me rephrase that. They are said to have reduced production. And I think supply is going to remain tight in the first quarter, at least in the beginning, the first half of the first quarter, maybe till February, March, until there is some relief that we see on the cost side for producers. And if that is also coupled with good demand, if the weather cooperates and if the farmers are able to plant their seed and that can drive demand. If demand surges in Q1, then we could see production increasing again.
Yes, let's hope that we will see it indeed.
Sure.
Yeah.
Until then, I think producers will also tread with caution.
Right. And how about imports? How do you see the situation with imports, specifically for CIN? Turkey is an important importer for the European markets. However, recently I saw that they do not export as much as they did before. So what is the situation here? How do you evaluate import potential?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Maria. In fact, Turkey has been producing a lot of calcium ammonium nitrate, and they have been exporting as well. But exports to Europe have been constrained because the market in Europe has been delayed. Like we all know, demand has been delayed and prices have not been as attractive for the exporters. And there is enough internal production as well to cater to the demands, to the weak demand. So I don't think there has been much opportunity for Turkey to export to Europe. But I did hear that they have sent a few vessels. And recently, when Yara increased prices, and especially in Germany, there was a good amount of demand before the market closed for the holidays. So maybe going into Q1, we will see a lot more. Having said that, I think it is also the domestic season in Turkey. And so producers are going to want to first focus on addressing the domestic requirements before they look at exports.
I see. Thank you. Also touching to supply a bit, but from different angle. Nitrates production, as we know, is the least developing in terms of new capacity. If we compare it with other fertilizer segment, for example, urea clearly is the leader here. It is related to the fact that most of the nitrates demand is concentrated in Europe, as we discussed, where demand doesn't increase much from year to year. So still, I wanted to check with you, do you hear any new projects that will be announced or maybe come on stream even in 25? in general, how do you see nitrates capacity growing, if at all?
You said it absolutely rightly, Maria, that because demand in Europe for nitrates has been laggard, and the domestic production has been more or less has been more than sufficient to address this demand. We have not seen companies increasing their production in the last couple of years, but we do know that Yara's Tertre plant in Belgium, they have decided to close ammonia production there and move to production of premium nitrate fertilizers. So we expect about 600,000 tons of fresh capacity coming from there. This is not by any means any greenfield or brownfield expansion. It is just a shift in production, shift in product that they will stop ammonia and now they start producing premium nitrates and some premium industrial products, nitrogen products as well, chemicals, which they will do using their existing raw material. Yeah.
I see. Thank you very much. I want to thank you in general, Manuja, for the all insights that you shared with the viewers. And I really hope that you will be a regular guest here in my channel. I'm very glad to discuss, like in a quarter from now, to discuss what happened like we discussed and what will happen next.
So it would be an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
And because we speak at the end of the year, I would like to wish you personally all the best in the coming year. And of course, ICIS to have a lot of good clients and a lot of good projects, a lot of interesting people and meetings in the year ahead.
Thank you, Maria, and compliments of the season to you. I wish you a happy new year.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for watching. As usually, I will leave all credentials of Manuja and ICIS in the comments. Please let me know in the comments which other questions related to nitrates market you would like me and Manuja to uncover, and I will be glad to discuss it with her in a quarter from now. Please subscribe to the channel, put like to this video, and see you soon.